Near future, a new ice age. A worker is fixing a satellite dish. They want to drive this man away.
Give me another day. One more day.
He believes he can cure himself.
I'll get better.
You're not gonna get better, Hal.
Looks like Hal is about to say goodbye to life.
You can't let him infect the rest of the colony.
The sick man takes advantage of the moment and tries to avoid being shot. In the colonies, people live in fear of a common cold. The latest one has killed 20 people in a week. In the harsh living conditions beneath the ice, the surviving residents of the colonies have developed rules. The sick are placed in quarantine, and if they don't get better, they can choose between a bullet and a long journey through the snow. After an abnormal snowfall on Earth, food ran out, and most people in the cities died. However, hundreds of lucky ones ended up in bunkers where life still thrives. People preserve seeds underground and save them for better times. Some people hope to see a mysterious paradise with blue skies and birds, but Sam doesn't believe in those tales. Moreover, life in the bunker is full of dangers.
But it's not the cold we need to worry about. It's each other.
Sam notices Briggs, one of the leaders of Colony 7, and wants to talk to him. Briggs understands what the conversation will be about and claims that Hal knew the rules and wasn't getting better. There are no medications in the bunker, and the colony won't survive another epidemic. Sam is outraged that a man with a gun is making decisions about human lives. Moreover, Mason didn't give Hal a choice, but the sick man just wanted to leave. And how would you act in this situation? Would you protect the majority or help the sick? Write in the comments below. Briggs also condemns Mason's decision, but interrupts the conversation and informs them that they have more important matters to attend to. Briggs and Sam head to a man named Cooper, who is their contact. Cooper informs them that he received a distress signal from Colony 5, but now he can't establish contact with them. Perplexed, Briggs instructs Cooper to gather all the bunker residents in 30 minutes, while he sends Sam to Victor to investigate the problem with the livestock. Victor informs Sam that they lost an entire brood of rabbits. Now they only have 12 left, with just one female. Sam asserts that the rabbits need protein, just like humans.
You know you're screwed when even the rabbits won't fuck.
Meanwhile, Briggs goes to Mason to discuss his actions. Briggs is extremely unhappy that Mason took away Hal's choice. Sam goes to his girlfriend named Kai and asks her to get him soy granules for the rabbits. Kai opens the storage and goes to get the granules, while Sam notices a work project on the laptop. Kai explains that through satellite communication, she discovered that there is climate manipulation equipment stored somewhere in Spain. Kai hopes that one day a thaw will come, and she will be able to find it. All residents of Colony 7 gather in the main hall, where Briggs announces the distress signal from Colony 5. Last year, not a single person from Colony 3 survived, so it is crucial for them to investigate Colony 5. And would you put yourself in danger to help strangers? Write in the comments. Mason believes they have nothing to offer the residents of another colony, as they have too few resources.
We need to take care of our own, Briggs.
However, Briggs stands firm. He personally wants to go to Colony 5, and now he needs to choose 2 volunteers to go with him. The first volunteer is Sam, and the second one is Graydon, Victor's son. The parents are against their son's decision, but he assures everyone that he can handle it, and Briggs accepts both volunteers into the team. Before his return, Briggs appoints Kai as the acting leader and asks everyone to keep working as usual. Suddenly, one of the colony residents sneezes, immediately alarming everyone present. The woman is immediately isolated from the others, and she and her husband, Dexter, are sent to quarantine. Mason is convinced that they won't survive and intends to take their samples immediately. However, Briggs orders him to wait for his return, as they might get better by then. He reminds Mason that Kai is in charge here.
You really think she can make the tough calls?
That's really not your decision to make, is it?
At night, Sam has a nightmare where he, as a child, gets lost during a snowstorm. In the snow, he finds his frozen mother. In that moment, filled with fear, Sam wakes up and can't stop trembling. He goes to drink some water, and Kai calms him down, reminding him that he's not to blame for anything. The next day, Briggs, Sam, and Graydon set off through the frozen city. Soon, the team reaches a weather regulation tower, which was once used to control the weather. Graydon asks if it still works, but Briggs asserts that it has been out of order for a long time, and they continue on. After some time, the men find themselves at a massive collapsed bridge. They realize that crossing it is dangerous, but they have no other options. They cautiously step over numerous holes, but suddenly come across a massive chasm. Briggs suggests going around the edge, but this decision nearly becomes fatal.
Watch your step.
The team continues their journey through the snowy landscape. Soon, they come across a crashed helicopter and climb inside. Briggs informs them that similar helicopters were used in the past for evacuating people. Briggs contacts Cooper via radio and informs him that they will spend the night in the helicopter and arrive at Colony 5 by noon the next day. Cooper informs them that the sick people in quarantine are getting worse, and Mason wants to get rid of them. Briggs authorizes the use of force against Mason if necessary. Before falling asleep, Sam tells Graydon how he lost his entire family and how Briggs found and saved him. The next day, the team reaches Colony 5 and discovers horrifying traces near the bunker entrance.
Guys, that's what! We shouldn't be going in there!
Came here to help. That's what we're gonna do.
Briggs, Sam, and Graydon cautiously descend into the bunker. Inside, they discover even more pools of red. Graydon nervously notes that none of the colonists survived, but Briggs is determined to continue the search. Suddenly, eerie sounds emanate from the depths of the bunker. The team sets out to find the source of the noise and discovers a scratched door. Sam picks the lock, and they enter the room. The team notices a man on the floor, and Briggs approaches him with his gun to determine if he's alive. Suddenly, the man named Leyland jumps up and screams in horror for them not to touch him. Sam calms the frightened man down and promises to help. Leyland anxiously asks if they are gone and pleads for the door to be closed. Sam gives the exhausted Leyland some water and food, while Briggs explains that their Colony 7 received a distress signal and they want to know what happened. Leyland reveals that they repaired the satellite antenna and soon received a partial transmission, from which they learned some astonishing news. He plays a video recording in which a man explains that they reconstructed the weather tower and reversed the freezing process. The ground has also thawed, and the land is ready for cultivation, but their seeds did not survive. The man begins to give coordinates of their location, but the signal cuts off. Leyland explains that Colony 5 sent a team to search for the source of the signal, but they found nothing. However, someone found them. Leyland shows Sam the presumed source of the signal, and Briggs suggests that Leyland join them in Colony 7. However, Leyland is terribly frightened and refuses to leave the room. Sam assures Leyland that there is no one nearby and reveals that they found him through the tapping.
Yeah, I didn't knock.
Leyland is horrified and claims that they are still here. Briggs instructs Graydon to contact Colony 7, but there is no response. Sam gathers whatever they might need, and Briggs finds dynamite. Briggs proposes attempting to contact the colony above, and they need to get out as quickly as possible. Leyland resists, but they eventually remove him from the room. Suddenly, eerie sounds are heard from a distance. Leyland breaks free from Graydon's grip and returns to the room, locking the door from the inside. The team realizes they can no longer help him and rushes to escape the bunker. Meanwhile, the sounds grow louder, and the team soon discovers a group of deranged cannibals butchering and devouring dozens of colonists' bodies. Suddenly, one of the cannibals notices the shocked trio, and Sam is forced to shoot him. However, the gunshot awakens other cannibals who immediately give chase to the men. Graydon runs ahead, while Briggs activates a stick of dynamite, attempting to stop the cannibals. Suddenly, Graydon stops, and at that moment, the deranged cannibals pounce on him. Briggs and Sam come to his aid and dispatch the cannibals, but they soon realize that Graydon cannot be saved. The men continue to flee and climb to a higher level. Sam shoots at the cannibals, but soon he runs out of bullets. Briggs breaks off the ladder to prevent the cannibals from reaching them. Soon, the leader and the remaining members of the group discover numerous bodies of other cannibals, and anger consumes them. However, Sam and Briggs have already made it to the surface. Once outside, Briggs throws dynamite into the shaft to block the path of the crazed pursuers. Sam and Briggs return home and after some time find themselves near the helicopter again. Sam doesn't want to linger and suggests moving on, but Briggs asserts that they won't make it as the temperature is dropping too quickly. At night, a shaken Sam can't understand how a person can transform into such a deranged and cruel creature. Briggs states that in desperation, people are willing to do anything to survive. Sam recalls the mysterious broadcast and Briggs suggests contacting the people when they return to the colony since they have seeds ready for planting. In the morning, Sam sees dozens of cannibals following their trail. He is horrified to realize that they will lead them to the colony, but Briggs assures him that they will hold them off at the bridge, and the partners start running. On the bridge, Sam and Briggs jump over a massive gap, after which Briggs sets up dynamite and lights the fuse. The partners take cover, but soon Briggs discovers that the fuse has gone out. Meanwhile, the cannibals are already on the bridge. Briggs decides to go out and relight the fuse. Sam tries to stop him, but Briggs distracts him with a blow to the head. The cannibals approach, but the strong wind prevents the fuse from igniting. Fortunately, a few cannibals tumble into the abyss. Finally, Briggs relights the fuse and, holding the dynamite, taunts the cannibals to come closer. He dispatches 2 deranged cannibals and, at the cost of his own life, holds the entire group on the bridge. However, the leader of the cannibals remains alive and looks at Sam with hatred from the other side of the bridge. Coming to his senses, Sam sets out alone towards the colony through the snowy city. Meanwhile, near the entrance to the bunker, Mason is preparing to deal with Dexter and his wife. He shoots the woman in the head, but at that moment, Kai appears and threatens Mason with a gun. Kai intends to shoot Mason if he doesn't drop his rifle. At that moment, weakened Sam makes his presence known and asks for help. Kai rushes to the young man while Dexter flees. While Kai tries to revive Sam, Mason approaches her and strikes her on the head. A couple of hours later, Sam regains consciousness in the bunker. Victor asks about his son, but Sam delivers the sad news to everyone. Graydon and Briggs did not survive. Suddenly, Mason returns. He handcuffs Sam to the bed and announces to everyone that Briggs' rules no longer apply. From now on, rations will be cut in half, and all the sick will be tested immediately. Sam tells everyone about what happened in Colony No. 5 and warns that the cannibals will soon reach them. He suggests leaving the bunker and heading to the place where the thaw has already arrived, but Mason doesn't believe Sam. Mason and Victor go outside to check if there are any cannibals nearby, but they don't notice anyone. Meanwhile, a young boy steals the keys to the handcuffs from Mason and hands them to Sam. Sam immediately goes to the restrained and beaten Kai. After freeing her, Sam tells Kai about the thaw and pinpoints the exact location using the satellite. Sam and Kai head to the storage room. Sam collects as many seeds as possible and plans to tell everyone they need to run. However, Sam and Kai are stopped by Mason, who won't allow anyone to leave the colony. Suddenly, there is a knock from outside.
Too late.
The colonists rush to the monitors and see that the cannibals are about to break into the bunker. The leader shows Dexter's severed head and then smashes the camera. Mason orders everyone who can shoot to go to the main entrance, while the rest should go to the shelter. However, the cannibals infiltrate inside through the ventilation and end up right in the shelter. Sam and Kai fend them off and try to lead everyone to a safe place. Victor engages in a fight with the leader, but doesn't survive. Meanwhile, Mason escapes to a secure room and closes the door just in front of Sam and Kai. They demand to be let in, and eventually, a woman opens the door for them. The surviving colonists realize that the door won't hold against the pressure of the cannibals. Sam suggests escaping outside through the ventilation shaft, but Mason refuses to leave. Sam leaves Mason with a pistol and, as Mason points it at him, says that he'll need every bullet. The cannibals break down the door, and Mason shoots a gas cylinder, exploding along with them. However, the leader manages to survive once again. He infiltrates the ventilation, and Sam engages in a fight with him. Falling into one of the rooms, they continue to struggle, and miraculously, Sam manages to defeat the deranged cannibal. Sam escapes from the burning bunker and joins the surviving colonists. They are bewildered as they don't know what awaits them beyond the colony. However, Sam remains optimistic. The colonists set off to the coveted place, and now only one rule applies: survival. What do you think? Will the film character survive and rebuild a new life? We really want to know what you guys think, so leave your thoughts in the comments, and we will feature the best one in the next video. And here is the best comment from the previous video. See you soon.